Noises Off. It's called The Funniest Farce Ever Written, which,
Mm.
just for people who haven't heard of this, a farce is where antics take center stage. It's like a circus act. It's that Scooby-Doo thing where there's a corridor with doors and people are
Correct.
coming in the doors and out of the doors. So I'm thinking of a headline like, "You'll never see such a test of physical comedy in your life." And with
It,
you and with James Rodriguez and the other cast, I assume it's going to be great. So my question is, physical comedy, comedic timing, can you learn that? How do you rehearse that?
it's like saying it's anybody who's, I mean, I don't call myself great. I call myself accomplished. Okay. But I was born with timing. That was nothing I learned. I've always had timing when when I was I mean, with my family, I always had timing. I always understood when to come in and when to stop. There are things you can learn, but it's like a great athlete. Great athletes don't learn anything. They just
Isn't it
get better at what they're already great at.
isn't it
You know?
interrelational though? You have to have comedic timing with someone, I
Yeah.
assume.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, unless both people have comedic timing, if you're in a scene with two people, it
Yeah.
ain't going to work because your timing's not going to be any good because their timing's off, or vice versa. I will say this is a very, very, very accomplished cast, and the play Noises Off. It's funny when it's good. When it's not good, you know, we all feel under pressure to get it right, and it's
Yeah.
mostly about entrances and exits.
Well,
It's not about the lines; it's about the entrances and exits.
I'm sure you know that Michael Frayn is still alive. And
Yes,
and I'm sure that you know that the original production, Tony nominated, 2001 revival, Tony nominated, 2016 Tony nominated. If
yes.
if someone wants to take this to Broadway, are you in, or is this like a
Ah!
fun vacation for you?
Well, I'm going to say it's a fun vacation.
All right.
I don't see it. I don't think. I don't know whether a play like this would do well on Broadway. I don't know. I don't know what they like on Broadway now. You know, it changes all the time.
All
All the
right.
time.
Well,
Uh,
but a silly comedy I think is sort of timeless. Thank
yes.
God it's not a dark comedy, a
Right.
comedy that makes you depressed.
Yeah.
I'm not into that, at least personally.
If you like to laugh, you're going to like this play. That's just
Yeah.
it. And you know, so it probably would work anywhere, anytime, because there's never a time when people don't want to laugh. Let's face it.
Yeah. Let's switch gears. In
Sure.
Psych, obviously you play the coroner, and
Hmm.
you should probably be in prison, but somehow Woody is endearing. How do
Yeah.
you take a crazy character and make it endearing and grounded, like writing the lunch order on the corpse's
Right.
chest
You know,
with
it's so wrong.
marker?
It's so wrong. You know, Woody means no harm. Everything he does is for the best of intentions. And really, you root for somebody who just wants to be loved and just wants to be part of a team. And that's all Woody wants. And now he tries so hard. I mean, he has so many great qualities. Uh, but he does not understand limits or there's nowhere he won't go and nothing he won't do.
I guess the viewer feels safe with Woody. He is written in
Yes.
such a way that there will never be real pain.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Well, that's the nature of comedy, really. It's almost it
Real
takes you to
comedy.
the edge, but you know it's not going to go all the way. No one will die. Dead people show up, but I didn't kill any of them.
It,
It is a morgue after all.
obviously, you're very modest, but I hope that you would acknowledge that, in your work with, Psych, Supernatural, Evil, Night Court, and more, you're helping millions of people who could be depressed or having a dark moment.
I will say one of the most. I've started uh, going to a few conventions. Okay,
Mhm.
not a lot, but every once in a while I'll go, and the things that people tell me that come up to me about, I mean, people who were in the Middle East when Psych was on,
Yeah,
uh, people who were in the hospital, people who were stuck at home during COVID. It's actually quite gratifying to hear that it actually does make a difference to improve someone's day or give them something to look forward to. And I'm all for it. You know,
that's great.
That's the only that satisfies me completely.
Well, hopefully, if you're having a tough day, just your history of doing that for people might be of some benefit.
It does, yeah. Oh yeah. I used to go, geez, what am I doing? I'm doing this movie, that movie,
Yeah.
television. What is it really with all? But you know what? These are the little things that matter, actually. The
It's even
day-to-day things.
it's even more than just comedy to some people. A TV show like Psych, or also Night Court, but not your character,
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's a TV family. So
Yes,
having like a loving family as a surrogate, believe it or not, even though it's just a TV show, it can be weirdly important to people, like for real reasons.
I get it. I see it
Yeah.
with Supernatural, not from me, but from Jensen and Jason and and Psych. It's people. The fans are really part of the Psych family, and they feel like it, and we embrace that actually.
In your interviews, you talk about how you began by overacting. Of course, in the
Yes.
theater, you have to project. But does anyone really believe that less is more? Because it doesn't seem intuitive.
There are some people who I really envy who get that film acting, that just the right amount. If you overdo it, if you do all the work for the audience, that's overacting. When you feel for them, when you react for them, you don't
Yeah.
give them an opportunity to participate in the dialogue, and it really is a dialogue. Well, then you've done too much because then they're bored because they don't even have to think. They don't even have to pay attention. So it's that fine line between reaching out, but not reaching out all the way,
Oh,
only reaching out halfway.
right. So in one of your shows being evil, but being
Yes,
so casual about it that you don't
yes,
telegraph when the evil is coming.
correct, correct.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting. Speaking of boring the audience, how do you know when repetition, which is there's a lot of in Noises Off,
yes.
is repetition either boring or is it like a gag, like in Psych, which people love? How do you know?
Well, that's your best question so far.
Thank you.
Okay, and I will say that there is so much repetition in Noises Off. And if we do it right, it's going to be hilarious. If we do it wrong, it's going to be boring.
You won't do it
You,
wrong.
I don't think we will, but you don't know. You have to do it right. And that's in the timing, and that's in keeping it fresh, and that's in, the audience expects it to happen. They don't know, then it happens again. And if you do it correctly and you build it every time, it will be very, very funny.
Well, you said in one of your interviews that you have to listen like your life depends on it, which I assume
Yeah.
you mean your partners in acting. But does that also include the audience in theater?
Oh yes, oh yes. Although in theater you can drop out of it. You can actually, if I'm on camera and I forget my line, and I'm thinking, what's my next line?
Uh-huh.
Everybody's looking at me, and they know I'm not there. I'm thinking of something. The camera never misses anything. Age, you can go, but you can go back a little bit and think, what the hell is my next line? I'm
Uh-huh.
72 years old. I got to figure out what my next line
And then
is.
you call it improv if they catch you.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very, very much.